Hi there, it's Cheryl Lynn, and I wanted to talk today a little bit about the word inevitability or inevitable. It's been a word that keeps coming to me as we've moved into this very different feeling energy, this whole new operating system that we're in that really has felt like it's taken hold for this year, 2020. And in the past, when I felt these openings, these opportunities to move into more of an alignment with my purpose, my mission, there have been like these hiccups, and the hiccups usually have to do with remembering things that happened from the past and remembering past experiences and feeling like I had to clear away things from the past in order to move forward. And the energy now is just very different. And it's only our thoughts and our conversations, a lot of times, that we have with others that have us thinking that we have to fix something or we have to remove something or we have to change something about our past in order to move forward. Or maybe the inevitability is that we feel like, well, inevitably it's going to fail, or I'm not really going to get what I want because I never have before, or I've tried this and I've tried that. So let me give you an example from my own life. And it's a really common one. But for me, I have tried for years. I mean, since I was 11 years old, my mom took me to a Weight Watchers meeting. And if you saw a picture of me when I was 11, you would be like, what? They even let you in? Because I was not overweight. Maybe a pound or something on their scale. But back then they let you come. And the reason was my mom said, well, she wanted company. Interesting, right? But it set me on this pattern of yo-yo dieting for over 40 years, up and down and up and down. And it's not that didn't have tools, didn't have awareness, all of these things, but because in the past I'd never been successful, as I got older, I started feeling like this is never going to change. No matter what I try, and even when I wasn't consciously aware of that thought, was on the forefront of my mind. So fast forward to now, and what I've noticed that is so different is that something in me shifted. And it was around the time, I'm not going to say it was, 2020, January 1st, but it was around the new year, something shifted. And I know a lot of you noticed a big change in the energy. And what I realized was and it wasn't even, I made a conscious realization, it's kind of more looking back over the last couple of months, what I've realized is that somewhere in me, that word inevitable shifted. So instead of feeling like there was an inevitability of failure, it was more, in order for me to do what I'm here to do next in my life, to move out into the world in a way that, I've always seen and had visions of since I was young. In order for me to do the traveling that I want to do, to have the energy that I want to have as, I'm getting to be, an older woman. In order for that to happen, my physical being, my physical body actually has to match that vision that I see, that mission that I have in order to support people. Now, it doesn't mean that, certainly, if I had kept going down the road of being very sedentary and eating whatever the heck I wanted and not really paying attention to my body, eventually my body would have, and it was giving me warning signs and signals that if I kept going, that it was not going to be good for me, and that my vision might come true, but it would include having someone push me in a wheelchair or some major debilitating issues. So I knew that in order for me to move forward, that it wasn't that I had to get disciplined and conquer this lifelong thing that I'd had. It was more this word inevitable just coming over and over. So if my vision and my mission, my feeling of how I can assist even more people than I'm assisting right now, if that is to come to fruition, which that feels inevitable, It's like, it feels like a done deal, and it's already expanding. Doing these Facebook lives is a way for me to reach more people. And there's other opportunities that are happening that are like that for me to be able to assist more people. So as this is happening, that inevitability, my physical body has to match that inevitability. And so through, listening to some friends, I decided to change my lifestyle, change the way that I'm doing things. It includes some of the things that I've tried before, not dieting, because that has never worked for me, although, I've lost the same 40 pounds over and over and over again. But some of the things that I've learned about myself, one is that if I actually pay attention to what I'm eating, and for me, writing it down some of the time at least helps me to actually focus and really be conscious while I'm eating. So some of those things, and knowing that I'm not someone who's going to be a gym rat. That's just not my personality, or someone who's going to start running or doing rigorous hiking. But I started dancing in my living room. That's like been my main source of movement in my body. So I've been doing that, and I've been eating things that just make my body hum, and avoiding things that I know my body's really sensitive to, and I'll end up having inflammation or other reactions. So it's been, I definitely am following a regime, but the difference is I'm not doing it from a place of my goal being to weigh a certain amount or to look a certain way. The goal is to match energetically the mission and the person who would fulfill the mission. Like, who is that Cheryl Lynn? Who is that? And how do the pieces of myself that I have right now work with that mission? And how can I expand even more? So again, that word inevitable, that if the mission is inevitable, then inevitably my physical body is going to match that. And so, at this point, I think as of this morning, I think I was down about 22 pounds. And it's not about that. It's more that now I'm feeling this energy. I'm feeling more like I can keep up with the vision that I have. It's like I'm starting to move at the pace of the vision, so that the ideas are coming in a more fluid way. My mind is clearer, because being conscious of what I eat is a metaphor for being conscious in every area of my life. Being conscious of the words that are coming out of my mouth and how they're affecting those that I'm speaking with. How, my presence showing up for something, whether it's on a webinar, or showing up on social media, or showing up for a friend or for my family members. Being very conscious of that is the energy required in order to assist in the way that I'm called to assist. So that's my example, but it might look very different for you personally. There are things that the mind just will tell us all these things about why we're not getting to the vision that we have of where we're going. It could be anything from, well, I'm a woman, or because I'm a guy and women aren't going to understand this, or it could be, I've never made enough money to be able to afford to hire someone to help me, or all of these things that go on in our minds. And those are the inevitable stories. Those are the old inevitable stories, where it's inevitable that I'm going to fail. It's inevitable because I've never done it before. And so only people who have these certain things in place in their life, that's the only way that these things are going to succeed, the way that I'm going to be able to answer the call. And that is not true. It actually is not true. It's because your mind is telling you things that have happened in the past, or that you've observed in someone else, and you're taking that on as if it's true for you. You're believing something in the past as true for the present, and that just isn't true. So what to do in order to shift that. For me, it wasn't a conscious thing. But when I look back and look at what happened, what shifted, I mean, yes, there was an energetic shift on the planet and things became more clear for many of us, for our mission, for, or at least the feeling of I'm here for a bigger reason. And then the next piece of it is, so if I have this vision, even if it's not totally clear, what is that? What is that is I'm not currently feeling as present in my life that matches that mission? So who is the Cheryl Lynn I need to be in order to fulfill that, to have that fulfilled? And for me, it had to do with having energy and my physical body, but there's other things too. There's being more conscientious about how I use my time and making sure that there's a lot of enjoyment and joy in my life, and that is a priority, because that is in a vibrational alignment with this kind of a mission, because you can't do it from a place of it just doesn't work. So look at those areas of your life where you can feel what your mission is, even if you're not sure of the specifics. And you know that some of the stories you've been telling yourself from your past are not in alignment with the person that you know somewhere in you that you already are. It's not about really changing yourself. It's about coming into alignment with that mission. And if there are things that you're called to do, just be really gentle about it. Don't with your mind, figure out a plan to make sure you address all these things and rid yourself of all these things in the past. You don't need to effort that hard about it. It's really just focusing on the mission and just asking your being to come into alignment with it. And then you'll start to see opportunities and ways to shift things in your life that you never thought you could shift. I never thought I would get over insomnia some years back. I just had trouble sleeping. And something in me just said, well, it's inevitable. I'm not gonna not sleep for the rest of my life. And something shifted and I started seeing opportunities and experimenting. So it's that kind of thing. So I will say happy alignment, happy inevitable life, inevitable mission, and just go easy with yourself with it. I think that's a key piece to it. Don't stress over this. This is not a time of stress. This is a time where there's a lot of stress going on around us. And for us, when we just focus on our mission and alignment, we're much more able to handle everything that's going on around us. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.